Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing another Adventure Time doll. Today I'm going to be doing Fionna and Cake from, of course, Fionna and Cake. So I'm going to start off, like all my Adventure Time dolls, with a blueprint and the hand mold. So of course I'm going to put the clay in the mold and then sculpt and shape it from there. Then for the head, I started off with a tinfoil base. And then covered it in clay, making sure to smooth out all the lumps. Then for the hand, I extended it with more clay since Fionna has more of her arms shown. And here's how everything looks, sanded and ready to paint. Next, I painted her skin tone. And also painted her arms. Then I went in with my watercolor pencils and sketched out the face. And then I went in with some paint markers and regular acrylic paint to fill everything in. Fun fact is that Fionna's the last of the initial 5 I had planned out back when Fionna and Cake first premiered. It's crazy how it's taking me this long to finish 5 dolls, but they do take a long time to make, so I'm glad I finish it now rather than never. If you guys want me to continue this series, please let me know who you'd want next in a comment down below. And after everything's painted, I varnished everything. Now for her body, I created a wire skeleton. And then wrapped it with batting to pat it out and cover all the sharp edges. I cut out some cotton fabric and then sewed it together. And then glued on the clay pieces. And here's how it looks. Trust the process. Next are her socks, made out of some real socks. And then for her stripes, I used embroidery thread. Now for her skirt, it's just a simple cotton rectangle skirt. And then I used t-shirt material to make her shirt. And then I just sewed it together. And here's how she looks. Next for her backpack, I scaled down a cosplay backpack pattern and made it out of some t-shirt material. After it was all sewn, I stuffed it with some yarn. And then tried on to fit the straps. And then I sewed them on and added a fabric button. And here's how it looks. Like all my dolls, her hair is made out of acrylic yarn. I separate 3 strands, tie them onto a coat hanger, and then brush them out. After it's all brushed out, I straighten it with a hair straightener. And she didn't need a lot of hair, so I just got a couple strands and then glued it onto her forehead. I did her hat off camera because it took a lot of trial and error, and you don't want to know how long I took making that hat, and this is the best I could get it. And for her shoes, I took these Alice in Wonderland shoes and sanded it down and painted it black. Lastly, I wanted to make her crystal sword, so I got some translucent pink 3D filament and took forever 3D printing it because it kept flying off the build plate. Now, of course, you can't have Fionna without Cake, and like Fionna, Cake started off as a tinfoil ball and covered it with clay. And here's how she looks after she's been baked and sanded. Next, I painted her in her colors. And then after everything was painted, I cut up some acrylic yarn and then used some fabric glue to cover her in the yarn flocking. Then after everything was dry, I just brushed off the excess. Then I glued on the eye that fell off. And then I printed out her mouth on some cardstock paper and cut it out, and here's how she looks. Now it's ready for the reveal. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!